Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a reality you are probably feeling right in your bones, the dark side of vibe coding. We hear all this buzz about it lately, right? The idea that you can just write a quick natural language prompt, sit back, and let the AI build the whole shebang. It sounds like absolute magic, but the reality? It's leaving a massive portion of developers totally fried by 3 p.m. So it presents the ultimate modern paradox. If these tools are literally making us code faster than ever before, why are we feeling so burned out? Well, we're going to answer that question today. We'll be looking at decades of software engineering research capped off with some really fascinating brand new longitudinal data comparing 2024 to 2026.
All right, let's jump right into section 1. The flow state ideal, what developers historically crave.
Historically, a highly productive day was pretty simple to define. According to a major 2014 study, developers considered a day successful if they completed big tasks with zero interruptions, just pure, deep work. But compare that baseline to the modern AI-assisted day. Today's workflow is defined by constant prompt loops, micro-interruptions, and endlessly evaluating machine outputs. We have fundamentally shattered what it means to actually get in the zone.
To really grasp why this is so exhausting, we have to look at the cognitive cost. Studies dating back to 2018 show that frequent task switching severely penalizes our working memory. When your work fragments into these little 15-minute blocks, you end up spending up to 30 minutes just trying to reconstruct your mental context before you can even resume a complex task. It's kind of like trying to read a dense sci-fi novel while someone taps you on the shoulder every single paragraph. Every switch demands a cognitive tax, and AI tools are structurally designed to force those switches.
Which brings us to section 2, the productivity experience paradox, expectation versus reality.
In a massive 2026 longitudinal study of professional software engineers, researchers found something staggering. A whopping 84% of developers agree that AI makes them more productive. It gives us this incredible illusion of frictionless speed. You type a prompt, and boom, 20 lines of boilerplate code instantly appear.
But here's the catch. While productivity perceptions stayed incredibly high, reports of worsened developer experience nearly doubled from 14% to 27% in just a 6-month window. And developers specifically cited eroded flow state and skyrocketing cognitive load as the main culprits.
When you track the trajectories of individual developers over those 6 months, a really wild picture emerges. The vast majority stay clustered at the top, rating their productivity as somewhat better or much better. But beneath that surface speed, serious frustration is brewing. High productivity output is actively coexisting with a degrading mental experience. Put simply, you are producing a lot more, but you're enjoying it far less.
Let's move to section 3, the hidden cognitive cost, breaking down the loss of flow. So why exactly is our flow dying? Well, researchers in a 2024 study proposed a new way to track developer behavior called the CUP-S taxonomy, or CodeRec User Programming States. It basically proves that instead of sitting down and just writing code, you're now juggling these exhausting microstates. You start by prompt crafting, then shift to waiting for a suggestion, then you intensely pivot to thinking and verifying the output, and finally editing. Your brain is rapidly bouncing between creating, waiting, reading, and correcting. This constant gear shifting completely fries your short-term working memory. The lived experience of this is incredibly frustrating. Take this quote from a developer in the 2026 study, who noted, "Sometimes you gain a productivity boost. The other time you're wasting time on hallucinations or fixing the generated code. It's these endless prompt loops, that tedious back and forth effort trying to fix an AI's highly confident mistakes, that absolutely shatter our deep focus." All right, section 4, from creation to verification, the shift in developer focus. The fundamental nature of a developer's daily work has completely flipped. When asked how they spend their time, 82% of developers reported a steep decline in time spent actually writing code. So what's eating up that saved time? Reviewing and testing. Verification tasks are quietly rising. And as any developer knows, critically reading and debugging someone else's code, especially a machine's code, takes vastly more mental energy than writing it yourself. And because developers are spending way less time writing the code themselves, their primary concern about the long-term maintainability of that AI-generated code has skyrocketed. We're talking a jump from just 3% to 19% in a mere 6 months. Developers are waking up to a harsh reality here. AI optimizes for works right now, not for easy for a human to maintain in 2 years.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the rise of supervisory engineering, defining the new normal.
This is a massive revelation about our industry. Researchers are actually proposing a new category of work to define what developers actually do now: supervisory engineering. You aren't writing everything from scratch anymore. Instead, you've effectively been promoted to middle management. You're now managing a super fast, highly probabilistic, and sometimes completely unpredictable junior developer who types at lightning speed but kinda lacks basic common sense.
This new supervisory role relies on 3 relentless pillars. First up, directing, carefully crafting prompts and over-specifying your intent. Second, evaluating, skeptically reading the AI output to decide whether to accept or reject it. And third, correcting, fixing its inevitable bugs to maintain your project's architecture. This cycle completely replaces sustained, joyful creative focus with a highly fragmented, high-stakes rhythm of constant oversight.
As one developer from the study emphasized, you need to always be fully in control and guide the AI into the direction you want, and not let the AI guide you. Human accountability, skeptical oversight, and strict trust calibration, they are literally more critical now than ever before. You can no longer just hit tab and accept the code. You have to own the long-term consequences of it.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself a question the next time you sit down at your keyboard. Are you still actually writing code, or are you just managing the machine? The AI might be doing the typing, but the heavy lifting of evaluating, directing, and worrying about the future, that is entirely on your shoulders. And that is exactly why your flow state feels broken. Keep that in mind as you build your workflow for the future. Thanks for joining us, and stay curious.